Right, hi lads and lasses, and welcome to November's edition of A Chuck and a Chat. Right, so here we are in November's A Chuck and a Chat. First little section of this is just going to be the shout outs. There's quite a few shout outs I want to do this month. A lot of people have helped me out, a lot of people have done some nice stuff for me, and hopefully I've done one or two nice things for other people. What I want to say first of all is thanks to everybody who had a go in the November raffle. Really humbling, quite a good response and what have you. We give some prizes away there. If you go back and look at the video, everybody's got the prizes. One went abroad, I think, and two went into Great Britain. So that's really great. So thanks very much for having a go on that on last month's raffle. On to the first one, and the first one I want to say thank you to is Johnny Cree, who just totally out of the blue sent me some flights, which are these L-style. So these L-style flights, as you can see, Johnny's done a fantastic job of these. He's made me, he's obviously took this off the shirts with the Union Jack and what have you. As you can see on the old shirts, it's got the full colour Union Jack. This is a new shirt which I'm going to explain to you about shortly, but those are the L-style, so I've actually got my own L-style printed flights now. So aren't they really nice? Thanks for that, Johnny, really appreciate that. And don't forget, if you want any personalised custom flights in small lots, then Johnny's your man. Obviously there's people there who do them in bulk, which is a totally different story, because L-style and what have you, a little bit more specialised and a little bit more personal, alright, for the normal player rather than somebody who wants a massive bulk of flights. Right, second shout out, massive shout out is, it was his birthday on the 17th of this month, and it's Neil Migalski. Now, he's somebody who's been having coaching sessions with me, hands across the sea again, like I say, he's from Canada, and it's all freezing cold down there and they're all locked down, so he's in his garage with both his heaters on, hammering away there, and he's thinking he's playing darts while hopefully keeping himself warm. And it was his birthday on the 17th of November. So happy birthday to Neil, and he's called the Vapor Mill. His actual throwing name is Neil the Vapor Mill Migalski. I'll get my teeth in a minute. Migalski. So nice one, Neil. We had a really good coaching session the other day. Had some real fun. Spent most of the time gabbing, and then he set up and he's been doing something that I couldn't see. We put the camera behind him. He put the camera behind him so I could watch him from the back. Spotted something, and he's contacted me a couple of days ago and said what a difference it's made. He had 10-15 minutes at the board practicing, and he had numerous 120 pluses, which is fantastic. So just that little bit of an alteration. He's been doing the Dynamite Dave way now for best part of about 12 months, but he went to a competition, and I think the competition messed with his head a little bit because he wasn't used to competitive darts. He's come away from that and he's had a bit of a lull, and what's happened is he's allowed himself, or he's allowed his body and his brain to tell him to start doing things slightly different. He'd moved himself over to the side of the hockey, he'd moved himself to the left, so he was throwing across towards the board. When he put the camera behind him, I spotted it straight away. I moved him into the centre of the hockey, and all those problems have disappeared just by doing that, because he's moved over to the side of the hockey. He's caused himself a load of problems. It just shows that the Dynamite Dave way, no matter what people tell you, it does work, and you have to change to become better. And it's changed to improve, and it doesn't matter how you throw the darts, whether you're doing all this helicopter stuff and what have you. The only way that you can improve is by changing things. And all I do is I change people to a simple mechanical way of throwing, which makes it easy to repeat, it makes it easy to be accurate, easy to be consistent, and easy to repair when something goes wrong. Like I've just said with Neil, he was doing one thing wrong, and bang, he's straight back in the groove again. Which is, that's what I mean by the Dynamite Dave way. Everything is simple, and everything is simple to repair when it goes wrong. It just means that you've got to have the dedication to get there in the first place. Right, so obviously waffling over again. Right, so that's Neil Migalski. The next one I want to give a massive shout out to and a massive thank you, and we're going to have a little bit of a clip of Adam now. It's Adam Skelton, and this is one of my players from Texas in America. Changed from his way to the Dynamite Dave way. To be honest with you, he was 90% there anyway, which is what he'd gathered from the videos. He's now not only competing in competitions and tournaments and for money, he's helping to organise them. So it just shows that the Dynamite Dave way is now spreading across the world. Just like, and we've seen it in the Grand Slam of darts. How many people on there? It was Michael van Gerwen yesterday against Simon Whitlock, or the day before it probably will be. By the time this video comes out, it'll be 2 or 3 days ago. But the Grand Slam of darts, Michael van Gerwen going for double finishes. Simon Whitlock attempted a couple of double finishes. So it's coming in. No matter how much people derided me and how much people laughed at me and said that I was crazy and I was an idiot. So who are the idiots now? Michael van Gerwen, an idiot. Simon Whitlock's an idiot. Dirk van Dijvenbode, idiot. All of them, they're all idiots. Peter Wright, according to some people's logic. But there you go. Right, so moving on from that, that's Adam Skelton. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over in section 1 and have a quick look at Adam Skelton chucking them darts in one of these tournaments. Right, so let's go over there right now.
Ball or ball?
Ball, loving card.
Ball.
6. BLT, Russ, Silky, and Christie, board 4.
Yes, sir, on board 14, this is a money round.
Right, so now you've seen that little bit of a clip there with Adam Skelton chucking them darts. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain to you about this shirt. Right, so what we've done, let me angle this down slightly for you and move back a little. Right, so what we've done is me and Brian Van Doren have had a bit of a think between the pair of us. We've got my arm piece on with my shot logo. We've got the catchphrase on there. We've got the Dynamite Dave patch. So this is part of the BVD sportswear brand now. And the best bit, and it was Brian who started calling me this, and it just seems to have catched on with a lot of people, and that is Ultimate Darts Coach. So that's what a lot of people have started calling me, so I would imagine eventually that's what I'll be known as. But like I say, fantastic shirt. Thank you very, very much for Brian. Absolutely smart. So this is the latest shirt. So really, really chuffed about that. So let's move on now. Let's go over into the next section, which is the technical section. So let's go over there right now. Right, so here we are over in the technical section, and the technical section today and this month, what we're going to talk about is locking that front hip out. We get so many people who are setting themselves up on the hockey and they're leaning way too far forward, we're putting a load of weight on this leg and it's causing them to struggle because they're leaning so far towards the board they're almost tipping over as they're throwing. A way to stop this from happening is we'll move back onto the hockey here, is your hip. As we're stood in the position, all we do is as we rock forward, your hip pops out, so you can feel your hip popping forward, and that step makes a straight line. If you feel that down your body, it's a straight line down your body, and this is locking the hip. It's something that I teach a lot of people that actually come for face-to-face coaching, which unfortunately we've not been able to do recently because of the lockdown, but this is one that I teach them if they're a little bit unstable. So if you're finding yourself doing things, throwing alright, but you feel that you're a little bit wobbly, a little bit unstable, locking that hip out will make a massive difference. So lock the hip out forward, which stops you from leaning forward. It keeps you nice and upright. A bit like Dimitri Vandenberg. Very nice, very upright throw. You don't need to be leaning towards the board. So again, it's set yourself up on the hockey, lock that hip forward. So allow that hip to run forward. Just let it lock forward like that, and when you stand straight over the top of that, it's a straight force right down your body rather than leaning over and causing yourself problems with aches and pains. And then it's just a matter of, with the elbow, nothing simpler than that. There you go, not fantastic because you probably can't see it, but as you can see there, I've scalded my hand this morning. I did the breakfast this morning and Fingy managed to get a big handful of fat off the frying pan. But there you go, it's not my usual 180, but it's close enough. There you go, just to show you that it's perfectly, absolutely live, because we do still get criticisms off people saying that I'm faking everything. Why do I need to do that? Right, so that's a little bit of a chuck at the board, showing you that locking the hip out makes a massive difference. It just adds that stability to the throw. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at the Dartwolf TV, my little insert into the Dartwolf TV, and a little bit of an explanation of, it's great, but I only get 60 seconds. So it's really difficult to explain something within that 60 seconds. So hopefully it'll build. We might get a little bit more time because obviously the actual programme now is going in a cracking direction. We've got the challenges and what have you, which are going to add a really nice content to it, really nice edge to it, a lot better than it was the first time. But as we do in our YouTube family, we grow. We start off making, I mean, if you go back and look at my first video, I don't think you could have got much more ropey than that on an old telephone thing. Just put the camera up and just let it up against a couple of boxes in the man shed, and that's where I started. And we all have to start somewhere, and we all hopefully get a little bit better, and hopefully my videos now are quite a bit better than they were in the early days. So Dartwolf TV will progress, it will get better and better, the content will get better, everything about it will get better. And my appearance this month in the Darts Masterclass, it was a bit of a practice game that Dartwolf asked me to do. So it was just a quick little practice game, really good, that little bit more now of an explanation of it. So I'll tell you what, let's go over and have a look at the clip, and when we come back I'll give you an explanation of it. So let's go and have a look at that clip right now.
Now it's time for a Darts Masterclass. This segment of our show shares top tips to make you a better player.
So one of my little practice routines, and it's a really good way to do it this because it combines playing the game with practicing, and it includes your doubles, so it makes you more familiar with your doubles. The more comfortable you get doubling out, obviously the more legs you're going to win and the more matches you're going to win. Instead of playing 5-0-1, play 3-0-1, but you're only allowed to hit any double 3 times in one leg, and this is to start off with. When you get more proficient at it, it's 3 doubles in any 3 legs. To start off with, what you do is you use the doubles and the singles, and you just make sure that you don't hit the same one twice. And you've got to think, because obviously if you want to finish on 32, you can't use up all your 16s. If you want to finish on a double top, you can't use all your double tops. Same with your bullseyes, you can hit bullseye 3 times or the outer 3 times in any game. So give that a go, I think you'll find it quite fun.
Thanks, legends, that's really great advice.
Right, so you've seen the clip now. That was a little bit of a very compressed version of what I wanted to say. What I wanted to say was this little game, you can start off playing 3-0-1 with it, which makes it nice and easy, and you can use any 3 of the same double. So you can use double 20 3 times, double 18 3 times, double 19, double 17 3 times, but you can't use the trebles. So you can't play your 3-0-1 and like score 180 and then leave yourself a finish. And what you've got to do is it makes you use your brains and use your doubles. For the simple reason is if you use all those 3 double tops in your first visit, so say you're going way, you have it 120, that limits your finishing power. In the first place, that doesn't matter so much because you're only doing it 3 out of 1 leg. So you can hit double top 3 times in 1 leg. You can hit double 19 3 times in 1 leg, double 18. So it's not that hard to get down. But when you come in to become a little bit more used to it, I mean, you can even have a go at this right from the beginning if you want, is you play 5-0-1 and you play over 3 legs. So you've got 3 legs where you can only hit 3 double tops, right? So you've got a 3-leg buffer there. So what I tend to do is I'll set my computer, my Android up to play 501, because this is the way I do it. Play 501 and I set it to 3 legs. So then I know how far through my 3 legs, and then all I've got to concentrate on is how many doubles I've used and which doubles I've used during those legs. It's the same with the bullseye. You can have 3 outer bulls and 3 inner bulls in any 3 legs, and this is obviously the more advanced one. The simple one is just in 1 leg, so it makes it easy because it just resets after every leg, and it makes it still a fun and enjoyable game to play even if you're on one of the lower levels. But the whole intention of this is to get you to use doubles as part of your game. Same as what I've just said earlier on in the video about Michael van Gerwen and etc, all using double finishes, and this is the way I trained myself, and this is why nearly everybody who knows me calls me One Dart. And I know that's Peter Manley's, and I'm not trying to nick his thing, because it's not me who says it, it's other people. I walk to the dartboard with 3 darts in hand, and it's very, very rare that it ever takes me more than that one first dart. If I'm on double 16, normally, anybody will tell you, my brother, people who I play with in the pub, it's 1 dart, bang, straight in the middle of it. And the reason is I treat all the doubles in the same way I would treat all the trebles for scoring. So I just make them part of my natural and all-encompassing game. If you play with people in the pub, you'll see this. The amount of concentration that's on their face when they're going for a double. And you'll notice this as well, no matter how bad a player they are, when they're going for a double, they're all there or thereabouts. You never get them throwing for a double and the dart goes in near the bullseye. Or say they're going for double 16, you don't get a dart in near the bullseye, you don't get a dart in up near 12. They're all around between, I'd say, the 8, 7 and the 16 in the middle. And that just shows how it pulls your concentration level down. Now if you do that for everything, so if you throw at your trebles the same way as you throw at your doubles, using the same amount of concentration and the same level of focus, then obviously it's going to be a lot better and your game's going to get a lot better. And this is regardless of how you throw, doesn't matter which type of throwing style you use. That is another one of the Dynamite Dave tips that works for everything. If you throw for your trebles the same way, with the same amount of concentration as you do for your doubles, you'll improve your game overnight. Right, so that's my little bit of an explanation of that little game that I did on Darts Wolf TV. So the next section is just going to be an explanation of the December raffle, which is the Christmas raffle. It's going to be a biggie. There's going to be some raffles, so there's going to be a raffle, and there's also going to be some giveaways. But those giveaways, keep an eye out, get yourself on Twitter, get yourself on my Facebook, and make sure you keep an eye out on YouTube. If you haven't done already, it's really, really important this month for this, is that you get onto the YouTube channel, you like the videos that come out, you subscribe, and you hit the notification bell, because they've got the notification bell clicked and they've given me a thumbs up, right? Those will be going in a separate draw, right? So get yourself over onto that. Same with Facebook, same with Twitter. On Twitter, make sure that you follow me on Twitter and you like me thingy, me comments. So when I put a post up, right, I'll put a post up to the videos that are on YouTube, and I'll be putting other posts up daily. Make sure that you get yourself in on that, because if you get drawn out of the hat, I'll be asking you for a screenshot of where you've actually commented on my Twitter or on my Facebook, and that prize will be another really nice big prize. Right, so let's get over there and have an explanation of that now. So let's go over there right now. Probably the main bit that you want to hear is what the prizes are going to be. Well, the first prize is going to be a steel tip setup. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a dartboard surround, and finger 2 really good sets of darts, proper tungsten darts, not brass ones, some proper tungsten darts. So that's going to be the first prize. Is going to be a board, a surround. Obviously you'll get the equipment to hang the board up on the wall, and 2 sets of like proper darts. So that'll be the first prize in the main draw. The second prize in the main draw is going to be a soft tip setup. So it's going to be a soft tip electronic board. It's on its way to me now in the post. So we're going to have an electronic soft tip board, and you're going to same thing, you're going to get the board and you're going to get 2 proper sets of darts with it. Obviously electronic darts, they don't have dartboard surrounds, so that's what it's going to be, is that it's going to be a setup, so you're going to get 2 really good sets of darts. So probably in soft tip versions you're looking at 40-50 quid a set, so you're looking at 100 quid's worth of darts, you're looking at 50-60 quid's worth of board, right? So you're looking at 150-160 quid's worth of prize for the second prize. First prize is going to be 50, 75 and about 175 to 200 quid's worth, because you're going to get 2 proper sets of tungsten darts, and we're talking top of the range ones, nothing rubbish, 40-50 quid sets of darts, and that's going to be the first 2 prizes. The third prize is going to be a windmill blade 5 and a set of darts, right? And then what we're going to have after that is the same as we've done before. We're going to get Alexa picking some numbers out during the actual show itself. So this is how it's going to work for this month, the way the draw's going to happen. What I'm going to do is everybody who puts the money in through PayPal or any other means, because there's 2 or 3 different ways that you can pay, they are going to go on a sheet of paper. Each one of them on the sheet of paper. So if you have 10 goals, you're going to have 10 numbers on that sheet of paper. So that sheet of paper, if it gets to, let's just pick a figure out there and say 300. So let's say we've had 300 entries, right? So we've got 300 entries there. We're going to have 300 numbers with 300 names next to them. We're going to ask Alexa to pick a number out. So from what to whatever. So it's basically a random number between 1 and let's say 300. So we'll get her to pick that out between 1 and 300, and then we'll have the prizes dotted around the same as we have done before with numbers on them, and then we'll get her to pick a number out for the prize that you've won, and we'll do that for another 5 or 6 prizes or 7 prizes. 7 prizes it'll be. Let's say we're making it 10 minimum, and then obviously depending on how many people have a go, so the more times you put in, the more prizes are going to become available and the more chance you've got of winning. Like I say, it's not massive this, it's not like Dickinson's Real Deal or Good Morning Britain. There's only so many people who actually put into it, so if you're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, it's well worth having a go. So for that, whatever you put in, say you put a tenner in, and you win the first prize, it's 160, 170 quid's worth of stuff, right? So it's well worth it. Right, so that's how the Christmas raffle is going to work. So now what we're going to do is we're going to close this session off, and we're going to have another edition of a Chuck and a Chat in a few days, where there's some other stuff that I want to explain to you, and another technical section, etc. So we'll just roll it on, and we might have a bit of an old school video where I do a bit of waffling, eh? Right, so thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. Don't forget, lads and lasses, you'll only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in, and always toe to the hockey.